is for everybody awkward.
Not sort of, kind of, maybe. Can probably be misconstrued for cute kind of awkward. Shit, I'm talking that awkward.
I think you think you're awkward, but I've seen awkward, been awkward, and you don't even come close.
Man, I can't even go to the toilet in someone else's house.
Eh?
Imagine if somebody were to hear me.
Eh?
Dude, what if something went wrong and like...
I think the word awkward is awkward. I was just Googling it, right? And I came across all these random facts like, check this out. Wait, you guys don't do that?
Come on now.
Anyway, you know that type of awkward when somebody says, hey, and you say, I'm fine?
Yeah, like when they say, hey, how you doing? So you're like, good.
Hey, how you doing?
And they're like, great, how you doing? So you're like, good.
Or like when you say goodbye, but end up going in the same direction, like, okay, this is awkward.
Or like going to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
And your boss is in the next stall taking a dump. And you kind of hear that, fam, I don't know how I'd ever look at him the same, man. That's just awkward.
Or when you get into a room and everybody's talking conscious, so I'm here worried, like, maybe I'm not conscious enough because everybody seems to be real conscious until you realize that nobody in this room even knows what they're conscious of.
Or that awkward moment where you try to explain to someone why you no longer have a resume.
Yeah.
Because how do you respond to...
You
just make people feel nervous. Or have your parents ever been to university? Or you're just not quite the fit we're looking for, that's all.
Or like how white people were laughing at the jokes in Black Panther, but claim not to understand us because, you have an accent.
The type of awkward where your friends start making plans for the Australia Day weekend and you can't bring yourself to tell them that you won't be coming knowing that you won't be coming. The type of awkward that silences the room.
The type of awkward that is often unspoken but felt regardless, like riding on the food train and having a spare seat or two free, but only next to you.
Or how big corporations bent on profit now own your image, and a social media celebrity is literally shaping how my kids will look in the future.
The type of awkward when random white people on a night out drunk on alcohol-infused bravery come up to you and say,
What's up, my nigga?
It's mostly awkward because you can't quite deal with the fact that this time it was different. This time they said it to your face. This is the type of awkward that makes you feel awkward for calling out a racist situation. The type of awkward that makes you leave a situation without addressing the situation because it's a little too much for you to handle. The type of awkward when your own femininity begins to threaten your masculine self. It's awkward because it forces you to look at yourself. It's awkward because we don't talk about it. It's awkward because young boys tell young boys to man up, and that's awkward because no one ever told them just what a man was.
That's right.
That's the type of awkward that don't even allow time to wind down the window because...
License and registration.
Literally has my face buried in the dirt or against the wall because after all, I am that African gang, right?
Gang.
So now your honest mistakes have us internalizing contradictions. Conditions to believe that we are prepositioned to be more violent, so we normalize seeing mass black incarcerations when statistics are literally saying there is actually less crime. So why are we seeing more convictions? Is it because driving off the back of black backs is financially beneficial, so we hide the fact that we help maintain the system? Is it because we find peace in saying that we need to do better and education is the key, but refuse to acknowledge the part where university fees are literally helping fund these same prisons? Is it because we're in prison? Did you even know? Do you ever question your position? Is this too
us
versus them? Does our skin make yours crawl? Are we making you uncomfortable? Is this poem too black? Is this too awkward?